from Chic Emporium, and today we're going to do this little sideboard which has already got quite a lot of carvings on, which I think will look nice once it's painted. We're going to try some new products today. I've got some products from a company called Vintage Rocks. Excitingly, I've got some Crackle Glaze and I've got some finishing cream for ceiling, so we're going to try those. I haven't used them before and see how they work. I'm going to use them with, I chose these colours, London Vintage, Sage and Arctic, because they go quite well with this cardstock that I thought might look nice inset in these drawers. So the first thing that we're going to do is do a couple of solid coats of the Sage, and then we will get stuck into the exciting Crackle Glaze. So I'll see you then. Alright. Right, so we've given this unit 2.5-ish coats of the green. It's not perfect. If I was going to leave it as a finished piece this colour, I'd have to do a bit more. But because we're going to crackle, it's okay. So it's quite thin and runny. So I'm literally just going to brush it on like this, all over, and then thoroughly dry. And that's the trick with Crackle Glaze, is to make sure it's properly dry before you put the second coat of paint over the top. So it's acting a bit like a sandwich, and it's going to need the second coat to activate it. So I shall just carry on with the brush, giving it a good coat all over, and then I'll show you putting the second coat on, because you have to be a bit careful with that as well. Okay, see you in a bit. Right, so as you can see, or you probably can't, we've put the Crackle Glaze on and completely dried it using a hairdryer. It's brought up loads of bleeding, and this front section in particular is very yellowy. So I'm hoping when we do this, it's going to cover that fact. So what I'm doing is, with the Arctic, just doing, you kind of got one choice option at it. You can't keep going backwards and forwards over it, otherwise it started to activate the crackle straight away. And if you get in close, you can probably see that. So it would mess it up. So at this stage it all looks a bit messy, but it's okay, because once you go back in and start sanding, it all comes together and looks lovely. So just, the trick is not to keep going back and forth over it. So I'm going to carry on and finish the whole piece in exactly the same way, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Right, so completely finished and completely dried it, and as you can see, it looks a bit of a mess, and that's perfectly fine. That is how it is. So if it doesn't look like this, you've overworked it. So I've made a start on this drawer and started to sand it back now, and I think you'll agree it looks much better than the other one that's still a mess. I've just started on it, so I'm just using 120 grit sandpaper and going over all the sort of carvings to bring them out and pick them out. Sadly, the yellowness is still coming through. It's better than it was, but it is still, I can still see it. So what I'm probably going to do is stick a coat of white wax over the top of it, which will hopefully blend it down even more. So I'm going to carry on sanding all over, including over the hardware that we've just gone ahead and painted. We didn't take it off. And then when it's all finished and we've got a coat of white wax on, I'll show you the cardstock that we're going to do with the drawers. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Right, so the last thing to do is the cardstock on the doors. So what we've done is given a very thin scraping of a coat of PVA glue all over, making sure we get it all around the edges. And this particular cardstock didn't fit as a page, so we've lined it up like you would wallpaper, or should I say Andrea has spent hours meticulously doing that. But I don't feel guilty, because I've been working up a sweat. It is so hot here in Dorset at the moment that it's literally been running down me. So there we are, I'm just lining it up. Because it's very, very dry, it's not going to bubble up. And it's really as simple as that. So the last thing I've got to do is stick the handle on, and then it will be finished. We've put the white coat on of wax, and it's covered the yellow really quite well. I think it's blended absolutely lovely. I think you'll agree. It's starting to come together as a really pretty piece. So I'll just finish that and then we'll show you the finished piece. Right, today has been a very hot and sweaty day. I've got leaky hair syndrome, I've dyed my hair and it's been so hot I've been dripping red bits all down me, so don't even go there. I can't even get in the pool when I get home because it's going to go red. This is my lovely, lovely top. I think it's come out great, and considering how much bleed through was on this, the white wax has covered it really, really well, so I'm impressed with that. The crackle has come out fabulous, thank you Vintage Rocks, really good product. And the paint colours, as always, London Vintage look great. Really pleased with the result. Cardstock's just a lovely little extra. So have a think next time you've got a piece. This is a natural inset to put a bit of cardstock. You can pick these pads up at the range, Hobbycraft, online, Amazon, etc. So, and they're a really nice little extra touch and sometimes a starting point for a colour choice of your piece of furniture. Until the next time, may it be cooler. Thank you.